All right, let's get into it. We're about to go on a journey, and it's all about uncovering the secret story behind that super smart computer you carry around in your pocket every single day. I mean, you've got to admit, it feels like pure magic, right? You can talk to it and it talks back. It can guide you through a city you've never even seen before. But here's the thing, it's not magic, not at all. It's actually an incredible story full of brilliant ideas, some really big mistakes, and a few amazing breakthroughs that literally changed everything. So, just to see how far we've come, let's rewind. Way back in 1984, the first real mobile phone was this giant brick. It weighed almost 2.5 pounds, it cost $4,000, and it did exactly one thing: make phone calls. That's it. So, to get how we went from that brick to the little brain in your hand today, we have to go way, way back to the very first sparks of our digital world. To really understand your phone, you have to start right here. See, every piece of technology we have today is standing on the shoulders of giants. And yeah, a few forgotten gadgets along the way. It really kicked off with just a handful of inventions. First, in 1947, we got the transistor. Just think of it like a teeny tiny light switch. Then, in '58, some geniuses figured out how to cram a whole city of those switches onto something called an integrated circuit. By 1971, that led to the microprocessor, an entire computer brain on one single chip. And then, boom, 1977, the Apple II came along and made the whole idea of a personal computer something you could actually have in your own house. And this, right here, shows you the most important rule in computing: making things smaller and way more powerful. We went from computers that took up an entire room to a computer chip with even more power that you could literally balance on your fingertip. But, and this is a big but, even with the absolute best ideas, success is never, ever guaranteed. Get this. Intel, the company that made that revolutionary microprocessor, the brain inside almost every computer for decades, they almost sold the whole idea to another company for cheap. Why? Because they just didn't see what they had. They couldn't imagine how huge it would become. It's an amazing lesson, right? Even the people who invent something can completely miss its potential. And this is where we learn another huge lesson. The fancy hardware is kind of useless without great software to run on it. The proof? Something called a killer app. The very first one was this spreadsheet program, VisiCalc. It doesn't sound exciting, but it was so useful that people bought the super expensive Apple II computer just for that one program. The message was loud and clear. It's what you can do with the tech that matters. Okay, so now we have these powerful little computer brains sitting on desks. The next big step was moving from lonely computers to a massive planet-wide network connecting basically everyone. So in the 80s and 90s, this giant war broke out over what a computer should even be like. On one side, you had Apple with the Macintosh. It was beautiful, it was super easy to use, and it was really expensive. On the other side, you had Microsoft. They they copied the big ideas, but made a version that could run on all sorts of cheaper computers. And this battle came down to one huge question. Do you build a closed system like Apple, where you control everything so it's simple and safe? Or do you build an open system like Microsoft did, where anybody can jump in and make stuff for it, giving you way more choice? The very next invention would settle that argument in the biggest way possible. His name was Tim Berners-Lee. In 1991, he invented something you might have heard of, the World Wide Web. And instead of trying to become a billionaire off of it, he did something radical. He just gave it away for free. No patents, no fees. He chose to share it. And that single decision is why the internet exploded and became the foundation for everything. And guess what? Just like Intel with the chip, his bosses at CERN totally missed the boat. They saw absolutely no business potential in this web thing. It just proves, again, that these world-changing ideas often look kind of useless at first, even to the smartest people in the room. So, all these different ideas, these tiny powerful chips, the friendly designs from Apple, the whole connected world of the web, They were all about to smash together in one huge moment and create the device you know and love today. And that moment was in 2007 with the launch of the first iPhone. It put the real internet in everyone's pocket for the first time. And with the connected computer in every single hand, innovation just went into hyperdrive. Then came a series of breakthroughs in artificial intelligence, AlexNet, the Transformer paper, that gave us the final recipe for the AI explosion we're all living in right now. 5 days. That is how long it took for ChatGPT to get its first million users. 1 million. You know how long it took the telephone to do that? 75 years. It just shows you how fast a new idea can circle the entire globe today. So now when you look down at your phone, you know it's not just one thing. It's all of these amazing waves of innovation smashed together. It's got that tiny, powerful microprocessor brain inside. It's got a nonstop connection to the World Wide Web. It's got an endless store of tools with the App Store. And now, it even has software that can actually learn. So after this whole wild ride through 50 years of history, what's the big takeaway? What's the actual secret sauce for making something new and amazing? Well, it's not really a secret. It's more like a pattern you see again and again. It always starts with a big, bold idea. But then comes the really important part. You have to be okay with failing. You have to learn from it and then get back up and try again. And you have to realize every success is built on the stuff that came before it. And sometimes the most powerful move you can make is just to share your idea. Seriously, let this sink in. Every single inventor, every company we just talked about, failed, sometimes spectacularly. Intel almost sold its crown jewel. Apple was almost wiped out by Microsoft. The secret to success isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about seeing every single oops or uh-oh, not as the end, but as a lesson you needed to learn. And this is what that journey actually looks like. You start way up high with all the excitement of a new idea. But your first try? It often lands you down in a valley of failure, and it can feel like a huge step backward. The real breakthrough only happens if you learn what you need to from that low point and just keep climbing. The road to success is almost never a straight line. Look, this whole story, from the first stone tools humans ever made to the AI in your hand right now, that's our story, the human story. It's about seeing a problem and figuring out a way to solve it. The tools change, sure, but that creative spirit, that never changes. And this story isn't over. The most powerful tools ever invented are right here, right now. They're in your hands. So the only question left is, what are you gonna build? Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Now go on, go learn something, go fail at something, and go build something amazing.